All right, so there are a lot of countries who are mad at us, number one, but there are also a lot of things that are going on in other countries that everyone basically needs to kind of be aware of, let's say. So today, or a couple of days ago, sorry, apologies. So a couple of days ago, the United States government released a travel advisory for the country Trinidad and Tobago. And so when they did this, they're basically telling people, hey, listen, this Trinidad and Tobago is level 3. Don't go there. They have a state of emergency. Basically, they have been overrun by the criminal type of individual, and Americans are being, taken and ransomed. Basically, that's what's going on out there. So there is something absolutely wild going on there, and they're basically telling us not to go there. There are a couple other countries that were also updated within this last month. As a matter of fact, hold on, guys. So we have Trinidad and Tobago, Guinea-Bissau, Niger, Brunei, Chad, Kenya, the country of Georgia, Samoa, but keep this in mind, not every single one of these places are level 3. There are a lot of level 1s. They're basically saying, hey, bro, if you want to go there, go have fun. Live your best life. Referring to the country of Georgia, Kenya. They're basically saying, don't go to Chad at all. Brunei, have fun. Timor, have fun. Just have your head on a swivel type of thing. Level 2. Syria is just straight, do not even go there, bro. Turks and Caicos is level 2. Singapore is level 1, completely safe. Djibouti, bro, you can go there, have some fun. Just make sure you watch around. I'm not sure I've ever heard anyone say, you know what, I'm going to Djibouti. We're going to go ahead and enjoy our lives. I've never heard anyone say that. But it's a beautiful country, though. If you do ever get a chance to experience Djibouti, go ahead and do your thing there, guys, along with the country of Georgia. So there are a lot of places that were updated this month in terms of like travel advisories. But either way, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this video here. There are a lot of countries that are just completely angry at us, though. They just don't like how we're doing things. They're basically inundated with like super progressive ideologies. And so I can only imagine how they no longer want to allow their citizens to come freely, let's say. Their citizens are still going to come, but they're warning them, hey, listen, there's a big bad guy in the White House, so, be cautious. But either way, more countries are issuing travel advisories against the United States of America. This is a suggestion via a channel member. Let's go and jump into this video immediately, guys. Let's do it.
Developing right now, a number of countries are updating their travel advisories to the U.S. following the Trump administration's ongoing immigration crackdown and a recent announcement the U.S. is considering an updated travel ban on 43 countries. Canada is now the latest country to update its U.S. travel guidelines.
Expected it.
Foreign nationals being warned they could run into problems. Germany, Denmark, Finland, and the U.K. also issuing similar warnings, pointing to heightened scrutiny at the border, increased visa restrictions, and new federal guidelines that could potentially impact transgender and non-binary travelers. So I'd like to welcome in former Obama campaign foreign policy advisor and former State Department official David Tafuri. David, great to see you. My first question, are you...
Bro, that's a definition of a strong jaw.
...surprised that countries are changing their travel advisories for the U.S., especially when I think most Americans consider this a safe place, especially when we compare it to so many other countries?
Okay.
This is a little unusual. Normally, travel advisories are intended to warn travelers about dangers in certain countries, especially if the risk goes up because of crime or terrorism. In this case, that's not what is happening. These travel advisories just relate to the entry procedures to the United States. So they're not telling visitors not to go to the United States, but they're giving them ample warning that the mechanisms for coming to the United States have changed a little bit. They become stricter. It's certainly harder to get a visa. And when you arrive, and I have several friends and contacts who've arrived recently.
Let me see those numbers again, guys. I'm sorry. So this is 1.5 million people so far in 2025. This is the month of March. This is 13 million. So we're basically... we may actually be on track to do more visitors this year.
The United States have changed a little bit. They become stricter.
It's no, we won't. Never mind.
Harder to get a visa, and when you arrive, and I have several friends and contacts who've arrived recently on visas, that you get more questions about why you're here in the United States, how long you intend to stay. There's probably a more significant vetting and background check, especially if you're stopped and there's a secondary procedure for the review of your visa and your entry. So that's what these countries are warning their citizens about when they come to the United States. In addition, of course, they're also warning that if you are transgender, you may also face some problems because of the change in U.S. policy with respect to persons having to either say that they are a male or female.
Okay, so when it comes to this here, I do most likely hope when Trump decided to basically kind of ban the concept of not saying what you are on your passport, I do hope that there was some type of like, I don't know, backup information. Because, guys, so for example, I've lived outside of the United States of America for multiple decades, if I count everything together, right? And so there were times where I spent, bro, 8 years away at times, guys. And I can only imagine that if you are away for a time and then you decide to come back and then everything changes so drastically, how exactly does that work, right? So if you are someone like one of those, someone from that community, I do definitely hope that there is something in place. Or maybe they're just telling you you're going to have to say exactly how you were born. Maybe that could be it. Is that how that works, guys? But I'm in the camp of getting rid of the whole concept of man, woman, male, female type of thing. Anyway, get rid of all of it. Just say X, Y, and XX. Let's move on because it's too confusing to me personally. It's too confusing. So how about this? XX or XY going forward. I'm not playing the games, guys. I can't mentally. Doesn't work for me. But either way.
All right. So, David, we know context and nuance are everything, right? So Canada says it's changing its guidance due to our new immigration crackdown. But do you think that's all? Do you think this could also potentially be in response
it's
to
about the tariffs
war and President Trump's newly announced tariffs?
That's exactly what it is, bro. Canada?
It could be as well. Reporting suggests that Canadians are very upset about a number of different things that have happened since President Trump took office. One of those things is tariffs, as you mentioned. Those are going to hit Canadian companies very hard. It could hit employment in Canada, but it's probably also going to hit Americans pretty hard at first, at least. And it's notable that these tariffs are going to also result in higher prices in Canada and likely in the United States. So Canadians are upset about that. It's also apparent that Canadians are saying that they want to boycott American products. Some of them are boycotting American products. That's a trend in Canada that could also hurt us. And so some of those things are
small scale,
certainly impacting the relationship between the U.S. and Canada. And also notably, President Trump has said he would like for Canada to become part of the United States. That's something that most Canadians probably do not want. And in fact, this has also united Canadians in some ways against the United States. So this is unfortunate, but I do think we're going to get over this. Canada is a very strong, important ally. I do think people in the Trump administration recognize this. And after we get past this kind of rocky beginning, hopefully things will normalize.
Right, guys, this rocky beginning is nothing more than a manufactured crisis, guys. I'm sorry. I'm one of those, all right? Like, I know specifically that all of this stuff is just going to blow over. Americans have a very, very short memory in reality. Look at the stock market. This is all done strategically. Lower the stock market so the rich can basically get into the stock market for cheaper stocks, and then everything is fine again. Great. Let's go back to normal as the billionaires basically quadruple their money. That's the reality of this whole situation. Manufactured crisis after manufactured crisis after manufactured crisis. But either way.
All right. So, David, you are a former State Department official. A current State Department official has said any questions concerning these changes are a matter for those governments. What do you think about that response?
Well, it's appropriate if what the State Department official is saying that it's up to the foreign governments who've changed their travel advisory to explain what they mean. Those travel advisories,
but they do, though,
should be very clear to their citizens about what is intended and how things have changed here in the U.S. Of course, if a country doesn't understand how things have changed, then it's their responsibility to talk to the U.S. Embassy and the officials in the U.S. Embassy in their country to get a better understanding. So what we want, of course, on both sides is for there to be clear understanding of what is involved when you apply for a visa and when then you come to the United States with that visa, and what your expectations should be when you arrive at the airport in the United States. We want that to be as smooth as possible. So the changes in the travel advisories are meant to intend that. And if they don't explain it properly, then it's up to the foreign countries to do a better job of explaining it. But of course, with the advice and counsel of the U.S. embassy officials in their country.
Thanks for watching.
All right, guys. Hold on. Okay. So I'm looking at on the Canadian government's website, specifically what the travel advisory is. They're basically saying take normal precautions. Live exactly how you're normally used to living. Just understand that things could get a little bit spicy, let's say. But the risk level is 1. So this is not even like the biggest deal, but they are saying a couple of brand new things here, guys. So they're basically saying that, hey, listen, the United States of America borders with Mexico. Criminal incidents associated with trafficking are more frequent at the border with Mexico in the following states. Basically, they're telling you things can get pretty spicy in California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. Basically, if you cross the U.S.-Mexico border by car, remain extremely vigilant. Only use officially recognized border crossings, okay? And avoid traveling at night. Specifically, they're basically talking about Mexico. Like the issues that they're actually having in a serious manner is that, let me see, there's some violent crimes. They commonly occur in poor neighborhoods, particularly from dusk to dawn. It often involves intoxication. Incidents of violent crimes are mainly carried out by gangs or members of organized crime groups, but may be done by lone individuals. Okay, they're saying also it rarely affects tourists. So just basically stay out of the hood, bro. That's what they're saying. Don't go to the hoods. Why are you going to the ghetto? For what? Ghetto tourism? That's basically what they're saying. Then they're saying, about our guns, right? Hey, American citizens openly carry firearms in public. Okay, just understand that. Don't get surprised. Okay, home break-ins also. Any type of demonstration, mass demonstrations. These are common in this country. A lot of fraud, and be careful when you're hiking, basically, and mountaineering. This is just the normal stuff. This is just don't be an imbecile. Is basically what the Canadian government is saying. And now actually seeing exactly what Canada is saying, yeah, that's normal, bro. Like, I would tell that to anyone else, the same. But we're full green level 1 from Canada's eyes. We're not Syria, guys. Okay? Syria is level 4. That they're basically saying, don't even go there. Like, don't even do that to yourself. That's basically what they're saying. Okay, don't even do that to yourself. But either way, listen, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. And if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. We're really close to the 1 million, guys. Okay, we need like 10 more subscribers. Okay, but either way, I'll catch you guys later.